What is up, everybody? Welcome back to racenews.com and welcome back to another one of our previews. Well, let's go to Santa Anita on Saturday. Race 8 on the card. It is the San Vicente Stakes here. A grade 2 event for the 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs. Now, you might be a bit confused because usually the Sham Stakes is this weekend at Santa Anita, which is a Kentucky Derby prep race. I should say was a Kentucky Derby prep race. They've taken that race out and they've placed the San Vicente here instead of in February where it's usually run. So a little bit of a change here. This is not a Kentucky Derby prep race. You can debate it. I think on one hand, you do look at the Sham and go, well, they've had 4 or 5 horses for years in that race. You also look, there's been some really nice winners of the Sham over the years. Life is Good, Authentic, on and on. I'm not going to list them all, but there's been some nice ones. So it's a bit of give and take for me. I do think it makes more sense as far as field sizes. However, let's get to this. It's a field of 6 for the San Vicente, so it's not like much has changed here. But let's get to the race, though. It's all about the handicapping on this channel. So race 8, like I said, it's ending on Saturday. I thought this was a tricky race. There's a lot of question marks about distances and how far certain horses will go. End of the day, I went with a horse that I just think is the best, even though I'm not sure 7 furlongs is the best for the horse. Number 3, Muth on top for me in this one for Bob Baffert. There is one thing that is 1,000% not debatable. He's the class of the field. Muth has been running in much tougher races than anybody else. However, we kind of saw him get to his absolute best when he stretched out to 2 turns. He won the Grade 1 American Pharoah, and then he was second in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He ran a winning race that day. He just ran into a buzzsaw in fierceness. Cutting back to 7, I don't think it's his absolute best distance. I still think he's the best horse in the race. So even though it may not be ideal, I still think he's just a little bit better than everybody else. Now, the horse I almost put on top is the number 4 Pilot Commander. I put him in second in this spot. Again, I think with him, we kind of know the distance is going to be just fine for him. He debuted. He only has 1 race under his belt. It came back in November at Del Mar. A nice debut. He won by 2 1/4. I thought he was pretty solid in that race. Nothing to, get crazy excited about, but nothing to be, negative either. Pilot Commander was pretty solid. So I think he'll run okay here. Distance probably suits him better than Muth. He gets Flavian Pratt aboard as well. So I can't really argue if you go the 4 over the 3. I think you just have to kind of debate, is it conditions of the race? And I'm going to take the 4, hoping that, he's going to take another step forward and be a nice one. Or am I going to go with the class of the 3 Muth? I think that's the big decision. Other horses here, the number 2 Slider gets back to the dirt today. And I think that's good. He had a huge win, main special weight win on the dirt in his second start. He then went to the turf and he won. And then he went in the speakeasy at Santa Anita. Then he tried the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint and was 9th, but only beaten 3 1/4. It's not like he ran horrible. That was a really tough race. They kind of all finished in a blanket behind the winner there as well. So back to the dirt. I think that helps. This is one we know. 7 furlongs will probably be just fine for this one. So I've got Slider in 3rd, the 2 horse, and then the number 1 Moonlit Sonata is who I have in 4th. I'm really interested to see what this horse does in the spot. I don't think 7 furlongs is going to be where he really excels to the highest level. He did win on debut going 6 1/2 at Del Mar. It was a very impressive win. To me, I just kind of feel like this is a true prep that Yakteen is using for Moonlit Sonata. And then next time when he stretches out, 2 sprints to a route, that is something a lot of trainers will do. You might see Moonlit Sonata's best in this one. But listen, he's proven he could sprint. He was very good last time out. I think he'll be in the mix here as well. So I'm pretty interested in him Saturday and then obviously moving forward as well. All right, let's review the top 4 here. On top, I'm going to go number 3, Muth. In 2nd, number 4, Pilot Commander. In 3rd, number 2, Slider. And in 4th, number 1, Moonlit Sonata. Well, it's a field of 6, but I do think it's interesting, and I think it's definitely worth watching, obviously, and betting. So we'll see what happens Saturday at Santa Anita. All right, guys, hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're betting Santa Anita on Saturday.